Hey, boys and girls, how are you today? I'm so glad to hear that you're all doing so well. Are you having a fun summer? Are you excited about school about to start back up soon? Well, even if you're going to school online, you can still go to Facebook and watch these stories because we're still going to air them. I'm reading Alley Cross by James Patterson, and we read yesterday chapter 18 and 19. It was about Allie had gotten in a fight at school, and they had a school assembly, and now Alex had to take him home, and Allie's now suspended for 4 days, and he can't play his PlayStation. He can't do anything pretty much. He's in trouble. But he's also worried about his dad's trial, and he's worried about his best friend Gabe. So let's see what happens in chapter 20. Chapter 20. For the rest of the ride home, I kept my mouth closed. Just like my right eye, which had swollen shut. It wasn't that much of a fight, but I felt like my skull had gotten a beatdown from the Hulk. Honestly, I had that feeling about my life in general. While Janie and Damon were getting all kinds of shine for running track and playing ball, I was the one dragging Dad down to school in the middle of the day to clean up some mess I'd made. It was like everything was spinning out of control all at once, not just for me, but for Dad too. So what was the difference anyway between an accident and an assault by a police officer if no one believed him? And why wasn't anyone giving me clear answers about that? I knew Dad didn't assault Mr. Yang, so how could any of this turn into a murder charge? And what would happen if it did? I couldn't think about it too much either, because I didn't want to cry in front of Dad. He always told me it was okay to cry, but that didn't mean it felt good to do it. Mostly, I just wanted to get this trial over with, and I wanted Dad to be found innocent of all charges, and for Mr. Yang to pull through, and for Gabe to be found, hopefully soon. I also wish I could take back the whole thing with Khalil. I mean, I wasn't sorry about the bloody nose I gave him. If you ask me, he got exactly what he deserved. But that fight had also gotten me stuck inside my house for the next 4 days, just when the Gabe stuff was starting to heat up, and just when I needed to be out there working on it more than ever before. Oh man, what a mess. Alex Cross. Alex waited until after dinner that night to call Victor Whalen. Even then, he wasn't looking forward to it. From the sounds of things, this kid Khalil was no angel, but there was no escaping the fact that Allie had drawn first blood. Still, Alex thought maybe he could play the cop card with Officer Whalen, just to establish some common ground between them. It was worth a try anyway. Alex put himself in his office and out of earshot of the family before he picked up his phone. Then he dialed the number he'd gotten off of MPD's central directory. Hello? A voice answered on the second ring. Hi, Officer Whalen? Speaking. My name's Alex Cross. I'm Allie's dad, and I know who you are, Whalen answered, followed by a long silence. Still, Alex pushed on. I wanted to touch base with you about what happened at school today. I'm hoping we can get these two boys together for a handshake. Maybe also let them talk things through. Excuse me, Detective Cross, but I'm going to stop you right there, Whalen told him. You're kidding me with all this, right? Alex clenched his jaw. Why wouldn't I be kidding about anything right now? He asked, trying not to sound as annoyed as he felt. This was supposed to be his thing. Usually Alex could talk to anyone, but Whalen wasn't having it. Let's just say the optics on this speak for themselves, he answered. And what's that supposed to mean? Alex asked. Violent cop, violent kid, Whalen said. You don't really need me to do the math, do you? Alex turned away from the phone long enough to check his own temper. Up to now, he'd gotten nothing but support from the Fraternal Order of Police, including his union reps and his fellow officers. He knew there were cops out there who saw him as one of the bad apples. but he hadn't been expecting to confront it in person, much less over a middle school fight. I assume you're talking about the Walter Gang case in my trial, Alex said as calmly as he could. Have you even read the report, or do you just assume you know what happened? Not going to get into it with you, Waylon shot back. I already have enough to deal with out there, thanks to cops like you. Just keep your boy away from mine unless you want another lawsuit on your hands. And don't call this number again. Unbelievable. It was maddening. But there was nothing Alex could do for it. Even if he wanted to continue the conversation, Victor Whalen had already hung up. So much for finding common ground. Chapter 21. At least I didn't have to apologize to Khalil after our fight. I totally thought Dad was going to make me do that. But he never even brought it up. You know, I never did. He was serious about me being grounded, though. There was no going anywhere, no TV, no PS4, no fooling. When he and Bree went to work the next morning, I was on suspension at home with Nana. The only choice I had was whether I wanted to do my schoolwork at the kitchen table or the dining room table. I took the dining room since Nana spent way more time in the kitchen. No offense to Nana. Mama. It was more about trying to catch some time alone so I could work on Gabe's stuff, as much as that was possible without leaving the house anyway. It was weird, like Dad and I had the same problem. We both wanted to be out there doing our thing, and we were both stuck on desk duty. So I did what I could. While Nana thought I was working on a book report about brown girl dreaming for my English class, I was also checking social media. And when I was supposedly doing some algebra homework, I was actually Googling for other missing kids cases in the Southeast DC. I wanted to see if there might be any kind of pattern going on, but there wasn't as far as I could tell. In between all of that, I was also grabbing time whenever I could to text with Ruby, Mato, and Cedric. It sounded like things were starting to hop on their end. Ruby and Mato's dad was organizing a vigil at his church for Tuesday, and Cedric was handing out flyers before and after school. The social media numbers were going up and up too. Ruby, this has really taken off. You should be proud of yourself for getting it started. Me, thanks. I would have felt prouder if I'd been actually getting something done instead of just wishing and worrying about it at home. Still, Ruby was turning out to be pretty awesome second in command. The other thing I kept doing was sending texts to Gabe at least a couple of times a day. I didn't know if he was reading them, but it was close to talking to him as it was going to get. I wanted him to know I was there, like a lighthouse sending out a beacon after beacon, text after text. In a way, it didn't even matter that I wrote. I just wanted to keep that light on in case Gabe ever needed it to help him find his way back home. Me, what's up? Did you know you have your own Facebook group now? And a hashtag too? Hashtag Find Gabe Quells. Me. You there? It's been 14 days since you disappeared. I know maybe you can't talk, even if you are getting these messages, but I just wanted to say, me. Guess who got suspended from school? That would be me. I got in a fight with KLW and survived, if you can believe that. Me. Hey, just saying hi. Me. Please just answer me once if you're okay. I need to know. Me. Hello? Me. Anyone there? Me. Please? And that's the end of chapter 21. We'll read chapter 22 and chapter 23 tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching and viewing our videos and supporting our library. Hope you have a wonderful day and keep reading.